PSA mail time.
What's going on, guys? This is Tyler back again with another video, and today we are going to be doing a special PSA reveal. This is a 30 card PSA economy mail day that I've just busted open, and got our empty boxes, and now we're going to go through the cards. So funny, the foundation of all great collections, PSA. Well, let's see if this is going to be a great collection, guys. Let's jump straight into it and off to a great start. So in this order, this is an order that I submitted in June. It was received on June 21st. I got the grades shipped, everything on August 11th. So now I'm doing the reveal, and we're gonna have these cards hit the market here soon. So if you're interested in anything, SHORTSLABS on eBay, you can find a lot of these cards on there. So overall, this is going to be a mixed review. Not good, not bad, just in the middle. I'm hoping to just break even on this order. Whenever you're paying $50 per card, you anticipate or expect to have a higher gem rate. So I do think that some cards needed a gem in order for me to have a positive ROI on this. It's getting to the point now where it looks like PSA is really the only one making money at $50 a card. They made out very well on this order, but it's going to be an uphill battle for me. So let's jump into it. First up, we have a really good one, and let's get some stuff to cover the next cards. So we've got a PSA 10 Shohei Ohtani, and what I'm also going to do is something a little bit different this go around. I want to show you guys some information on the side as well. That way you can have this different view as well. So we've got a PSA 10 Shohei Ohtani autograph rookie from Allen and Ginter. These cards are kind of difficult to grade in that there's a plastic film. Hopefully you guys can pick up on that a little bit. There's a plastic film that goes over the card. Yeah, you can really see that there. And it's prone to surface scratches. So this is one that did have surface scratches on it, and it came back a 10, as well as the next one, which is another Shohei Ohtani autograph. So next one came back a 9. I'm very surprised that either one of these came back at 10, to be honest. Whenever I got them in hand, I was somewhat disappointed that there were surface scratches on this plastic film, but you know, I'm okay with it. I got one 10 and one 9, and we'll see what happens after that. These are very difficult cards to grade. The 10 is a pop 13. The 9, I believe there's fewer than that, actually. It's kind of surprising. There are actually 5. So the majority of the ones that have been graded are actually in gem mint condition. But I'll take the 10 because there's not many of them out there. And anybody who is looking to complete that PSA 10 autograph run of Ohtani really needs this card. So I'd like to have that low pop number. Next up, we've got some Wander Franco. So if you all have watched the channel, you likely know that I've graded a bunch of these. These are very easy grades, great recipe to really capitalize on the market. For those of you who have followed the channel, I may not have posted a lot of videos about these yet. I'm going to do that in a recap for my economy orders, but Julio Rodriguez Bowman's Best, I had a ton of those cards. Those were very easy. Same type of card, not necessarily his best autograph prospect card, but one that is easily gradable, and once you see an uptick in demand, people will want that autograph PSA 10. That's kind of the same deal with these Wander Francos. Unfortunately, Wander Franco got hurt, and he's just not playing that well. So first couple of these I did really well on. Now it's just hoping to break even, really, because they're just not going to do that well with him being injured or not playing well. This one's frustrating, guys. Very frustrating. So 2019 Panini Donruss or Panini 1-in-1. This is one of Ja Morant's best rookie cards. It is a card that has 5 gem mint copies, and mine is a PSA 9 that has 2 copies. So of course the grader would give me on the lower end of the scale. Despite having a 71% gem rate, I get the bottom half of that. I'm in the 29% that's not gem. This is just really frustrating, guys. Whenever I saw that this order popped, I was very disappointed. I want to zoom in a little bit here so that you guys can see what this card actually looks like. And I actually have a download here. I want to show you all of this card so we can actually look at the centering ourselves. So just looking at this card, I'm very disappointed. As soon as I saw that this one came back a 9, it's making me lose faith in what's happening right now in the marketplace. There's a lot of built-up frustrations that I have right now in the hobby. Things were doing very, very well before the COVID boom. And, just seems like now things are just not consistent. They're just not. So I talked about the Ohtani was one example. This is another example. I don't know exactly what people at PSA are looking at with this card, but let's just look at the centering here. So centering, we could say that's maybe 60, and I'm being generous. Just measure again, go right here and go down, then 57. So somewhere in between that, 60 to 57 at the top. Let's go down here at the bottom. So 58. Let's do it again. 58. So looks like centering top to bottom looks good. I'm not even going to take a look at this left to right because it's perfect. So you all tell me what the flaw is on this card. If you want to think that this right here is a flaw on the edge, let's look at that because we have the card here in hand. I can tell you right now that there's nothing wrong with that edge. There's nothing wrong with the corner. I mean, there's just nothing wrong with these cards. There are no surface scratches on the card from what I can tell. Gosh, dude, this is so frustrating. Just make sure I get all the fingerprints off of this just to make sure there's nothing on the card. Maybe a PSA grader put a fingerprint on it. It's so frustrating. The reason why this is frustrating is this card is maybe around $1,000. Now it's not. It's going to be basically... as a 9, it's around $1,000. PSA 10 would have been around 4,000-ish, maybe a little bit less. Really need cards like this to gem because they are what makes the order. Needed that one. All right, so I'm gonna keep going here, not let that one hold us back. Next up, Wander Franco Magenta PSA 10. So I did get some 10s. This one's numbered to 99, and this one being numbered to 99, it is pretty low pop. So we're looking at around 11 of them are PSA 10s. Bad thing is, again, it's just Wander Franco, and he just hasn't performed well. Julio Rodriguez has stolen the spotlight. Next up, we've got a jumbo Wander Franco Topps Inception autograph patch. I don't like that they call these patches, even though technically they are. All of these that are the jumbos, unless they're the higher end parallel, like an orange, maybe the green, maybe for this one has some nice patches, but orange, red, etc. They have nice patches, but this is just a single stripe, and they're not even game worn. They are, in fact, Walmart jerseys. So nothing. Is execution of player worn. So the relic on this card was worn by the player. The execution of all player worn memorabilia is witnessed by Topps representative to guarantee out this. They just wore this. They didn't play it or use it in a game, so it has no meaning to me whatsoever. But still, autograph patch PSA 10, and it is a pop 4. So nice to have that. Next up, we've got the green horizontal one, which this is really nice. Man, these would have been great opportunities to make some money if Wander was still playing. So may not have issues with Wander long term, but really needed some help here in getting him on the field and batting and generating hype for the hobby, because not having him has been a letdown. Next up, got same card. This one's going to be a PSA 9. This one is, believe, has maybe a corner issue. If we look right around up here, it's kind of hard to tell. Just me holding the camera. I want to make sure the card's on camera for you guys. So if y'all see anything, let me know if there are any flaws on that one. Going 2 for 3 on those isn't too bad though. All right, so next up, I'm going to jump right into our next stack. So first one, Kirill Kaprizov, got an upper deck. This is a upper deck PSA 9. So let's go ahead and look and see what this guy looks like. So the 9 here, pretty nice scan. Tough. Tough. Man, if this card was graded in 2018 or 2019, it would be considered a PSA 10. So that one's tough. Really interesting how that one did. Do have a couple more of these though. So this one did come back a PSA 10. So let's just do a little bit of comparison so you guys can see. The pop on these now is up to 1669, by the way. So we've got 1669 of these as PSA 10s, or about a 53% gem rate. In this order, don't worry, don't fret, I have lowered that gem rate. So, yep, blame me. I am the one who got this to go a little bit lower because I've got a lot of 9s on here. Again, 50 bucks a pop. You really need some 10s to come in, and didn't get a lot of them. So this one I know is going to be a 9. It has that top edge mark there, so this one is a believable 9. No disagreement there. Next up, we've got a PSA 10. So again, let's just go back and take a look at what this one looks like zoomed in for you guys. And yep, it is a beauty. So in order to get a PSA 10 on these Carrills, they really needed to look sharp. These typically don't have surface issues. They typically don't have centering issues. All right, so next up, this is a PSA 9. And just looking at this card, it is absolutely a PSA 9. But wait until you see what the PSA 8.5 looks like, and then you guys tell me which one is worse. So you all can see right in there, that top edge, definitely not looking good right above the Upper Deck logo. It's foiled up. So yeah, that one doesn't look like a very strong 9 to me in comparison to the others, especially when we compare it to the one that looked like a Gem Mint card. Next up, we're going to look at the last 9 that we have before we look at the 8.5. So this one, it's got some corner issues there, so no real disagreement. It's harder to pick up on the scan than it actually is here in person. So again, looking at cards in person is a lot better than scans. Try my best to actually look at stuff whenever I'm vetting cards on eBay, but again, it's tough. It's very tough. Then last but not least, we have the 8.5. So 8.5 has an edge issue there and maybe a little bit of corner, 2 corners that are touched up. Man, that 8.5 to me looks like it may be a little bit better than that 9 that had a huge edge issue right above the hollow foil. But maybe they're counting this as edge and corners and 2 corners that are touched up. So that could be why they're getting their 8.5. Last but not least, this one is hopefully something that's going to help pay for some of these other ones that are 9s, and this is the PSA 10 canvas. Now the pop on this is 147. Really don't have to worry about much on these so long as the centering is good and the edges and corners are fine. Well, it's basically everything about the card, right, Tyler? Duh, except surface. Surface is fine on these. Usually centering is going to be good. It's just those dark corners on dark borders for the corners and edges that you really have to worry about. And these don't pop up that much. I'm surprised they don't go for as much as they do. The next couple of cards I want to go over, I want to pull these up here really quick for you. Let's just close out of a couple windows. That way I have some space. This just shows PSA's inconsistency. So I showed you all the Morant. That was a little bit frustrating. This next card is going to have a flaw, and it is a PSA 10, but it has a flaw. So this is not the one. It is this one. Of course, I got these out of order. Ruin the reveal, Tyler. All right, you all see the flaw here? You all see that? Right there by the K, right on the surface. You can even see it in the scan. So if we go to the second one, nothing in that area. If you see that scan, then there is something. All right, so what does that look like side by side? Let's layer these over top of each other, have the same lighting. You can clearly see flaw, no flaw. Flaw, no flaw. Now, PSA is a little bit different in that if it is a printing error that goes as a part of the manufacturing process, like something historically was Bowman Chrome, had X-fractor lines, not roller marks, different, totally different, X-fractor lines. So PSA historically has not knocked those. Now you will occasionally get some that knock it, like Panini Prism Ruby Wave prisms that have those horizontal lines, or Mosaic Gold Wave they knock those for whatever reason. But if you go back to their old standards back in, the early 2010s, if there was an X Factor line, that was not docked. You can also see some Patrick Mahomes Panini Prisms that have the dimple. That dimple is a common manufacturing flaw. That manufacturing flaw is not docked depending on the grader. Now you will see variants where some people will dock that and make it an 8 or a 9. Sometimes you'll see it as PSA 10. I think the same thing is happening here. I wasn't really sure how they were going to grade these. Fortunately, I got 2 10s on them, but it just does show, again, inconsistency, and this may not be a common flaw. It may not even be a flaw. It may be a flaw. Who knows? The grader probably didn't know too much about it. It just seems inconsistent. I would grade these cards different than the grader did. And man, it just goes to show, it highlights whoever is grading your cards. It's a human decision, and there's variability. So cracking and resubbing is a strategy that can potentially pay off. So gonna keep going. This is the last stack here. So we are getting into some of our Bowman Chrome type stuff. So the beginning was a little bit better than where we're gonna finish, unfortunately. So we've got James Wood, Gold Refractor. The good thing is this card is appreciated in value since I've gotten it. He's really taken off. The card looks a little bit more off-center than what it actually looks like in the scans. If you actually look at the scan, you can see the card looks a little bit better center top to bottom. It is off, but not that far off. Now the interesting thing is this card does look like it's encapsulated into the plastic. Not good, but in the scan it's not. So there's probably just some shaking around that needs to happen to get this card back loose, but man, that does not look good in terms of what's happening there. Next up, we've got, keep forgetting this. Next up, we've got the James Wood. This is his green shimmer. So this is a Pop 3 card. Yes, his autograph is not good on this. That's why it is definitely not a dual service candidate. I don't think any card is right now with the way they're grading those. So number to 99, PSA 10. This is a great card. I'm very, very happy that I got this. This is going to offset a lot of the 9s in terms of the value lost from getting those 9s. But really, really, really sharp card. And he was one of the key pieces in the Juan Soto trade. I think the Nationals are really going to like him. He's done well in the system so far for the Nationals. Next, I have his speckle, and this speckle is, in fact, a little bit more off-center than what I would have hoped, but, it is what it is. If you look in the scan, it definitely looks like it's off top to bottom. In person, it doesn't look as bad, but in the scan, it looks worse. It's crazy how that works. Like, sometimes it looks good in the scan, sometimes not. These are straight ahead images from PSA, so you think it'd be pretty consistent, but man, just what an optical illusion this can be. This 9, I'm still probably going to be able to make some money on it though, because again, James Wood has gone up in value, and I'm going to need that because of this card. I got to be honest with you all. This is probably the worst purchase that I've ever made, ever. And in the 3 months that I've owned this card, I've probably already lost 80 to 90% of its value. The reason why I bought this card, just going a little bit of story, did so well with 2021 Bowman draft high-end stuff, kind of. Like Marcelo Mayer Gold Wave, where I bought a Gold Wave autograph for around $2,500 to $3,000, sold it for around $8,000. I think those were the numbers. That may be different. Got it as PSA 10 and did very well on it. So I wanted to roll that money into 2022 Bowman and buy some high-end prospects. You all saw that I was very high on Elly De La Cruz. That's going to pay off. High on Jackson Chourio. That's going to pay off. High on James Wood. That's going to pay off. Another guy I was high on was Matt McLean. Another reason why I bought this card and bought into Matt McLean is because his autographs are much more scarce than the others. Yes, he has color autographs, but he does not have refractors, and he only has specific color out there, and his base is relatively short print compared to the others. I would say super short print. So I wanted to snatch onto this, and in the beginning, first couple of weeks of the year, he was playing very, very well. As soon as I bought this card, he tanks, and also the stock market tanks, and everything else tanks. So, bad timing. I'm going to lose my butt on this card. This is probably going to be the card that I lose the most money on, and it's crazy that it's happening in such short time. In addition to that, before I bought the card, I asked if there was any surface scratches. Seller responded after I'd already won the card and said yes. And as soon as I heard that, my heart kind of sinks because I knew it wasn't going to be a 10, and I automatically had locked in losses at that point in time. And of course I didn't back out because I have integrity, but at the same time, just horrible timing, horrible stats, roller marks. Not good. Got a lot of climbing up to do out of the bunker with that card. It's not just that, but PSA did not treat these other ones that well either. So I did buy a lot more of his color. I have 2 of these green shimmers that are coming up. So green shimmer came back to PSA 9. And again, I bought these because his color was rare. He didn't have a lot of base. He doesn't have a normal refractor, at least not one that I've seen. I kind of stopped looking because he's not that great of a prospect. So, you know, that's just kind of how it is. Like, I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to be reminded of my mistakes. Make mistakes and move on. That's what you gotta do. Next, got his blue refractor. This is a true blue. Did not expect that all these would be 9'd. Really didn't. Not every single one of these cards has roller marks. To only have one PSA 10 out of the color that I've sent PSA so far, whew, they are treating Bowman Chrome. They're treating it really dirty right now. And it just continues. Like 9 for the Matt McLean base, and then last but not least, I knew that this one was going to be a 9, but boy, oh boy, does it hurt. What a tough stretch there. This one does have a surface dimple in the center of the card. Unfortunately, it was not described by the seller. Is what it is. Like Jordan Lawler, PSA 10 of this probably would have been right around $1,000. No, it's not his first Bowman Chrome, it's his second one, but you can still do well on second Bowman Chromes, especially some of the higher end ones if they grade out well. Unfortunately, this is not going to grade out well, so it's all contingent on Jordan Lawler being a beast, which he has been intermittent, good / hurt. Still have confidence in him. I think he's going to do pretty well as we move forward. All right, we're running down the stretch here. We're going to close off on a good streak. Luckily, we have some very beautiful Patrick Mahomes cards that are coming up. You know what? That's just been my problem, is I have not had my allegiance to Patrick Mahomes. Doesn't matter what I do. If I buy Patrick Mahomes, he never lets me down. All these other people let me down. All these prospects have been letting me down. Bowman's been letting me down. Topps Quality Control's let me down. All the influencers ruining the market has let me down, but Patrick Mahomes has not let me down. Cannot wait for kickoff, cannot wait for opening day, even though they have the most difficult schedule in the NFL, again, even though they have the most difficult schedule in the NFL, perhaps in the history of the NFL, even though they lost Tyreek Hill, even though they had to reload all their offensive weapons, Patty Cakes is still #1 in my heart, and I will be there on opening day in Arizona to watch my first NFL game and first Chiefs game. I cannot wait. This is going to be beautiful. And for those of you who love Patrick Mahomes just as much as I do, keep an eye out. I just did a video, and it will be uploaded here soon. Top 10 Patrick Mahomes rookie cards. It's going to be a series of releases that I do, highlighting different top 10 lists for different players for different reasons. I'm going to continue on with this because I really enjoy this, and I've been wanting to do this for Patrick Mahomes right before the NFL season. What better time to do it than do it now before kickoff to generate that hype, guys. Let's go Chiefs Kingdom. All right. Oh, y'all think I'm done with Patrick Mahomes? No, got more. I've graded a ton of these, a ton of them. So I've not been let down at all. Really enjoy this card. It's one of my favorite cards ever made, and it's paid dividends over time. Last but not least, Smoking Joe Burrow. Not as high on Smoking Joe Burrow. I think that he's going to struggle a little bit, especially once Deshaun Watson comes back in the division after his 11-game suspension. Lamar Jackson being back, hopefully healthy. Dude, all these other quarterbacks, all this speculation with these other quarterbacks not named Patrick Mahomes. Whew. There's going to be some people losing some money. Just, people are going to be losing their butt. There can only be one victor at the end of the year. There can only be a couple of people generating hype throughout the year. So, all these people investing in second-tier quarterbacks, man, good luck. Good luck. All right, guys. 14 cards, mixed results. Some big cards, some not big cards. some cards I'm probably going to crack out and send to Beckett, but we'll see. Let me know what you think down below. Was this graded accurately or anything inconsistent? Anything that you saw? What should I do with that John Morant? Should I crack that, or should I keep it and just sell it as is? I'm leaning one way. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, whether or not I should submit that somewhere else. All right, guys, always appreciate chatting. We will see you next time.